Welcome to the Wellness in a Chaotic World podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl Davis. Before we dive in, I wanted to note that as a health and wellness coach, I can support you in making sustainable lifestyle changes, tuning into your own wisdom, and building habits that align with your values and vision for your well being. I don't prescribe or treat health conditions, as I'm not a doctor or a mental health professional. Instead, I can walk alongside you as you create a healthier life on your terms. From time to time, I share conversations with guests. The views and opinions expressed by those guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect my views or those of anyone associated with wellness in a chaotic world. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and isn't a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always talk to your doctor or qualified mental health provider about any physical or mental health concerns. This is the Wellness in a Chaotic World podcast, a place where we're having conversations about what it really takes to live well in our unhealthy, chaotic world. I'm your host, Cheryl Davis. If you're beating yourself up over a bag of chips you ate in a stressed out frenzy, or you can't figure out how anyone manages to find the time to even think about wellness, you're in the right place. We talk about all of these things and more because, frankly, we don't talk to each other enough about what we're really up against every day. Let's change that right now. My guest today is Lo Bundy, with 15 years of nursing experience, a background as a personal trainer and online coach, and a deep commitment to trauma-informed breathwork. Lo Bundy brings a holistic approach to well-being. Her passion for health extends beyond conventional boundaries. Whether lifting weights in the gym or finding tranquility through yoga, she embraces diverse paths to wellness. Lo is also a proud mama of two. In today's episode, Lo and I talk about embracing and working with both your masculine and feminine sides, the importance of breathwork, weightlifting, and more. I hope you enjoy today's episode. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me, Cheryl.
Yeah. So you are a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator. Um,
hmm
so tell me a little bit about your story and how you came to be a facilitator.
So, before I was a breathwork facilitator, I've also been a nurse for 15 years, but my passion at that time was health and fitness. I did online coaching, I did personal training, and through that, I was really running my business through the masculine, like hustle harder, work harder, not smarter. Very, very hustle, hustle, hustle. Push, 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 more, more, more. And I think when the pandemic happened and the world changed and everybody had a chance to like slow down, and it was scary being in the stillness for a lot of us. And then I had suffered two concussions. So I still have some residual lasting effects from that. And through my recovery journey with the concussions, I had was introduced to a mentor, a very intuitive mentor. And through our session, she was like, "You need to do breath work." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And then the next week we met, she's like, very intuitive person. She's like, "You didn't do your breath work, did you?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." In my mind, I'm thinking, I've been breathing for almost 40 years. Like, I get it. So she's like, "You have to try breath work." And I did, and it blew my mind. And I was like, sent out into the ethers. I was finding clarity. I was dropping into my body. And I was just like, why doesn't everybody know that they have this innate power? And I just want to share it with the world.
Okay, so what does breathwork do for your body and your mind?
So with breath work, and there's two types of breath work. There's the down regulating breath work, which helps you go from chaos to calm, reducing anxiety in those moments. Different techniques you can do for that. And then there's up regulating breath work, which is circular, connected, conscious breathing, where you're slightly stimulating the system, but not that you're getting chased by a bear. You're just stepping into the stimulation of it. And with those, you can go on these beautiful healing journeys where it's like an altered state of mind, to gain clarity. And like I found with my business, like so much clarity I've gained, some deep healing, some trauma healing. Those are kind of like the big ones, but really there's all the research shows like it boosts mood, it decreases blood pressure, Helps with different respiratory illnesses. You can actually increase your lung capacity and volume by 5 to 15%. So if you're
Oh,
doing it
wow.
for health benefits, there's different tests and stuff you can do for that. Improves sleep, improves like your emotions, anxiety, depression, grief, trauma. It reduces illness in the body, reduces inflammation. So it's like this endless list of like all the things that we want
Yeah.
for wellness and longevity.
Yeah. And so does it change how you show up in the world too? I mean, it must. I know it does for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So I was on anxiety medication for a long, long time. Had some very severe postpartum OCD after my first daughter, postpartum anxiety, which I didn't even know was a thing. I have only heard of the postpartum depression. So when the anxiety and the OCD got to that height, and so I was medicated for almost 10 years. Through breathwork, I've been able to come off those medications because now I've learned how to be okay in the stillness, to be okay in the quietness. So I'm not getting that anxiety to the point where I'm like, I can't control it. I need to take something, or like I was binge eating, trying to fill the void, alcohol, drugs, binge eating, sex, porn, like whatever it is for you. It's like what we're looking to get that hit of dopamine. So breathwork helps to lower the cortisol levels and really drop into the body, get out of the mind. The mind, I think they say, has 70 to 120,000 thoughts per day. It's a thought machine. That's what it does. The majority of those are recycled thoughts, like 95 to 98% of them. And then the majority of those are negative. So we're stuck in this negative cyclical brain pattern the majority of the day. And breathwork has allowed me to get out of that chaos and step into like the calmness.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so powerful. And
Yeah.
and the breath work is different from meditation.
Mhm. So with breath work, it's conscious breathing. So with meditation, you're dropping into the body as well. You're being guided. And breath work is the same, but you're just adding the breath factor into it. So it's going to help you to drop into your body a little bit more, stimulate the nervous system, upregulating or downregulating, depending on what type you're doing, and really dropping into the body and getting into those different brain waves a little bit deeper so that you can get to the point where you can make those changes where you can connect with yourself on a deeper level. So I find like with meditation before, I was, again, the brain is a thought machine. I was like in meditation, I was like, what are we going to have for supper? What are the kids doing? I wonder if everyone's okay. But with breath work, I've been able to focus on my breath and drop into my body. So for me, that's what it's allowed me to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's another thing that you talk about that I don't know a lot about, but it's something that I've seen a lot recently, and it's
hmm
somatics.
hmm So soma is a Greek word for body. So somatics is body-based healing. So breathwork is a body-based healing modality. I'm actually looking forward to taking a somatic coaching course within the next year. And it's really dropping into the body, healing trauma. Trauma is stored in all different parts of our body through fascia, through memories, emotions, the limbic system in our brain. So somatics is like a broad term. There's somatic coaching, there's breath work. Yoga is a somatic practice because it's body-based practice. And it just allows you to get deeper, really, really get deeper, gain more clarity, get some more of that like that deep healing, that trauma, that grief processed.
Yeah. So you said something earlier and about embracing the feminine,
Mm,
and I think that is something that is really changing both, you know, a lot of individuals are embracing it themselves, but like you said, something about that pandemic.
yeah. So like everybody has a masculine and a feminine side. Like they're yin, they're yang, they're feminine, they're masculine. Masculine is really that scheduling, that protective mechanism. So, and the feminine is more of like the alignment, the divinity. And I was really separated. So we have both of them, but I was really separated from my feminine, and I was in this like unhealed masculine, um, power, drive, go, check boxes. But once I learned to heal my masculine and heal my feminine and get aligned with my feminine and allow my masculine to hold my feminine so that I could be in alignment and I could work from that, that made a big change. So through breath work and somatics, um, we've done a lot of healing between the feminine and masculine, and really, yeah, just really allowing my masculine to hold on to my feminine and embrace her and let her do her thing, but be there to like guide her at the same time.
That's awesome. Yeah. So there is one thing that you do that I think a lot of people think of as masculine, but I think it's probably necessary for all of us to think about weightlifting.
Mm.
How did you get into that?
My husband, he's a firefighter, but he's also a bodybuilder. He's an IFBB pro bodybuilder. I had been into fitness before that, but he really, once I started kind of getting along with him, I do not bodybuild. It's not my lifestyle. I'm just here for the wellness, the strength, the feeling good, the seeing improvements in your weights and your reps and your strength, and having that proudness in yourself of what you're capable of doing. So weightlifting for me has really, and it's also been one of the big things that has been my edge for healing my concussions, getting back into weightlifting, getting back into the wellness. Um, so wellness for me, it's giving strength to my body. It's helping longevity. It's for posture, alignment. Yeah, we are obsessed with weightlifting in this house. And then the other side of me is the yoga. Like I do yoga almost daily as well. So there's the balance between that duality.
That's awesome. I love that. I think it's probably the weightlifting I think is hard for some women to get into, but it really is important, especially for women who are aging, right? Because we
Mhm.
all, when we age, or start to lose that muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think one thing if anybody is starting out is to get a coach, someone they trust, not just someone famous online, like someone that you can actually be personal with. They're going to be there to help guide you. They're going to be there to help you through the struggles getting into the gym. Um, with my anxiety in the past, I would get to the gym even after being experienced. And some days I'd be like, I just can't go in there. Like my anxiety would take over and the chaos in my head. And having a coach allows somebody to give you that reassurance, give you that push, help you get to your edge. So I think having a coach in the wellness world is really beneficial, especially when you're starting out.
Yeah. Definitely. It gives you that accountability too, because,
Yeah.
some people, they'll say they'll do it and they won't unless they have
Yeah.
somebody there to push them
So,
along.
so good.
Yeah.
I still, after I guess 16, 39, 20 odd years of weightlifting, I still like the accountability of showing up online. Like that's my accountability. Because if I don't do that, I'm like, didn't count. I don't have to do it. But I think you're absolutely right. I think accountability is so huge with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me switch gears a little bit and go back to your background in nursing.
Hmm.
Um, what what was your experience, or are you still nursing?
I
Or
am. Yeah, I
yeah.
work part-time nursing now.
So what is your experience there? Like, are there, I guess it's a big question, but I like to talk about the healthcare system, and I'm just kind of
Mm.
wondering what your take is on like what we could be doing better.
Um, it's a big question. I think that being on the inside as a nurse, um, the the funding for healthcare is one of the big things. If there was more funding, there would be more staff, there would be more physicians. We could where I'm in Nova Scotia in Canada, we are at a very shortage of family doctors. A lot of people do not have anyone. Um, there's long wait times in emergency rooms. I think funding through the government would make a big change in that. I think I think people taking their wellness seriously would make a big change in the decrease of what their long-term comorbidities, diabetes, blood pressure issues, um, lots of different things. I think so. I think really taking your wellness into effect, whether that's fitness, cardio, like taking your card, anything that's good for the heart is good for the brain. Anything that's good for the brain is good for the heart. So like the Alzheimer's, dementia, the Alzheimer's Society here teaches that getting in those modalities like breath work, like meditation, like getting out of the chaos, getting out of the anxiety, those cyclical thoughts, and finding like a combination of it all so that you're like well balanced, and then you feel good, and then your mind's less chaotic, and then like you can experience your wellness in this world, and you'll notice that shift. You'll notice a shift. It can be hard, it can be daunting, it can be scary to step into the wellness industry, or just into the gyms, or starting a new modality, but you're going to find your people. The right people are going to be there for you to help guide you along the way. The ones that aren't, they just, those people will slowly start to like melt away. Like they'll just start to melt away from you. You won't even like, they're not even going to be attracted to you. They're going to be just going away. So you're going to attract those people that are going to help support you and build you up and allow you to be accountable.
Amazing. Yeah, just it is intimidating when you're first starting. And it's also, it doesn't just go, you don't just go to the gym one time and everything is fixed. It's a long-term journey.
Yeah, totally. It's like a commitment. It's like a relationship to your own wellness. Like it's like you said, it's a journey, it's a long-term commitment. You have to show up. I think that if you set your walk or your yoga session or your weightlifting session, whatever it is, put it in your schedule like it's a doctor's appointment, because you're showing up for your doctor's appointment. So if you put it in there and you treat it like that, you're going to show up for your workout, you're going to show up for your walk. um put it in there. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was one of my when I did more of the fitness coaching, that's how I would kind of put it to people, like you're going to show up for your doctor's appointment, you're not going to miss it. You're going to show up for your workout, put it in your schedule, pen it in. This hour is booked off. Nothing else goes on during that hour besides you focusing on your health.
That is great advice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if there was one thing that you wish everyone knew, what would that be?
um I think the power of breath work has changed my life dramatically. um it's allowed me to find love with myself, dealing with like binge eating and body dysmorphia and anxiety, different traumas over the years, letting breathwork help heal that. I use it all day throughout the day. Like the anxiety still comes. Life's, as we were just saying, life gets lifey. The anxiety still comes. It's going to show up. But now I know how to use my breath to regulate myself in those situations. And finding alignment, finding your purpose, finding your tribe. I think that's one thing we both connected on there. I think that's so key. So using breath work to harness the power of your breath and really just step into like your little spiritual journey, or whatever you want to call it, your calling, your purpose, your alignment, finding love for yourself. It's going to be game changing.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. So if people wanted to find you to do some breath work and learn more, where could they find you?
I am on Instagram at Lo_Bundy. I'm on LinkedIn at Lo-Bundy. My website is www.lobundy.com, Lobundy. I'm creating a course right now, a digital course for people to learn how to use breathwork to kind of transform their life. I do one-on-one private coaching with my private clients that want to have more of an intimate breathwork experience and integration. And I'm going to be starting a membership in the next 2 months, which I'm really excited for. It'll be wide range, anybody, anywhere. We'll meet, we'll be doing different styles of breathwork. I'll go over the benefits, the pros, the cons. So that is a little bit more of what I have. And then you can get on my newsletter from any of those. Find me anywhere. I'm everywhere.
That's awesome. That's exciting about the course and the membership.
Thank you. Yeah, it's my new little baby. It's my new project, so I can kind of get breathwork to more people out there.
Awesome. Thank you for being here today.
It was so fun. Thank you for having me.
For many of us, when we're disconnected from what our bodies have to tell us, we become imbalanced and unwell. Through practices like breathwork, we can find our way back to listening to the body's wisdom. The other big takeaway from today's conversation that I had with Lo, I think, is that we need to make the time for our wellness. Schedule time for wellness, whether it's going to the gym, doing yoga at home, or doing breathwork throughout the day. When you put it on your calendar, you make a commitment to yourself. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. You can also find more about each episode on the website at wellnessinachaoticworld.com. Or you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, where we can chat more about living well in this stressed out, chaotic world. And as always, I hope you have a healthy, happy week. If today's episode resonated with you, our private Facebook group is a great place to dive deeper, ask questions, and share wins with people who understand. It's free, it's private, and you can join by clicking the link in the episode description. I hope to see you there.